Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Faith. I'm a family health coach, and this is the series that is looking at children's brain health. And as previously discussed, this series is being done in conjunction with Matthew's Brain Health Corner, and I'm discussing here what he has as video 6 and 7, where he discusses the limbic system and the limbic system extended. So thank you for joining me. Why are we looking at brain health? As I explained previously, it is for the purpose that when the brain is the one that does all the major decision making for anything that we do, the brain is the boss of the body. So when you have a healthy brain, it will inadvertently make good choices, and then good choices lead to a good life. So that is why we're looking at brain health. And I'm a Christian health coach, as I've previously said, and obviously we're going to be looking at this not only from the physical perspective, but there's going to be also parts that are emotional and mental perspective. So this is great that you're coming along on this journey, supporting your child, and I hope as you're supporting your child, actually, this will be of benefit to you too. Most of the information that we're talking about applies to anyone who's under 25 years old. But in terms of some of the key information given in supporting the brain, this actually applies to anyone. So as you're helping your child in their brain health journey, it will also be of benefit to yourself too, if you apply the principles discussed here. So the target in age for Matthew's Brain Health Corner is 9 to 12. He's obviously explaining that information in a child-friendly way, which is fun and engaging. But as I said, it applies to anyone who's under 25 for girls and under 28 for boys, because that's when the brain fully develops. And this is the adult version, the parents version, where I go into a little bit more depth. So let's start off. Today we're talking about the limbic system. The limbic system is called the emotional brain. So that's the main part of the limbic system. It actually gives you a hint of what this part of the brain does. It is located just behind the frontal lobe, and in the child-friendly version, it talks about this being the feelings manager. It supports happiness and excitement. It's the memory keeper. It stores special moments like birthdays. It's the area for love and friendship center. Helps us care for others, friendships and relationships. It is the spiritual sense. It is the area where there's spiritual sensitivity. It helps us to feel close to God and discern right from wrong. Now, as a parent, we'll just go into a little bit more depth to explain which these exact areas are, and which make up the limbic system. So in the child's version, it says the limbic system is the area just behind the frontal lobe. So that's the frontal lobe. That's the front of the brain, the back of the brain, and this is the frontal lobe. So the limbic system is the area just behind the frontal lobe. It's made up of a few structures within the brain, and these include the amygdala, so this is the area of the limbic system. So it includes the area part of the brain called the amygdala, which is the brain's emotional alarm system. This helps detect danger. It triggers fear, anger, stores strong emotional reactions, and it's highly active in children and teens. So that's why our children sometimes can be more fearful, it could be certain stories. Let's say you have to be very careful with the stories that you choose to read to your children. Some things make them more afraid because these areas are still very highly active in our children. Then it also has the area called the hippocampus, which is the memory keeper, which stores those special moments and helps children learn from experiences. There's also the area called the cingulate gyrus. It helps with emotional bonding, empathy, and shifting attention. It supports the love and friendship area that was discussed by Matthew. It also has the area of the thalamus and the hypothalamus, which regulate emotional responses. This is an area also where it also regulates hormones and stress. This is the area that also contributes to the spiritual feelings and moral awareness. So that is the limbic system structure and areas discussed in a bit more detail. Now we'll go back to continue with the things discussed in Matthew's video, where he talks about the signs. What are the signs that the limbic system needs help? So some of the signs are feeling unusually grumpy, struggling to enjoy fun things, thinking more negative thoughts than positive thoughts. And how do we keep the limbic system happy? We spend time with safe and kind people. We practice gratitude daily. You move your body, like walking, dancing, play, some of those things that can actually make us more happy, make us feel more happy. We talk to God. We can even journal our feelings. We can, talking to God, obviously that's prayer. We can use calming breathing exercises. And the breathing exercises that I teach are nothing that you have to be concerned about, because sometimes breathing exercises have a form of meditation that can be a form of meditation that is more new agey, where they talk about emptying of the mind. No, that's not what we're doing here. We're doing them in a very in a way that is actually written off in the Bible, where we're ruminating on the Word of God. Now, before we go on to a few activities, I want to talk about the limbic system in the teenage brain. Now, the limbic system is more active during teenage years, and that's why it reacts strongly to peers and criticism. So the limbic system being more active in teenage years, that's why with teenagers it's more important to them what their peers think about them at this age. It can become overwhelmed and lead to sensory overload. Now, let's talk about how to calm the limbic system. And these strategies can be used by both your young children and your teenagers. So some of the things that we can do to calm the limbic system is hugging. Obviously, that's somebody who is of a close relationship with you. Spending time with pets has been found to calm the limbic system. And then there's sensory activities such as drawing. Drawing has been found to be an activity that calms the limbic system, and certain smells like lavender also help to regulate the limbic system, and that's something that can be very useful. At night you can put some drops of lavender on the pillow, or if you notice that your child is a bit stressed, take them into a safe space and maybe help put some lavender maybe on their favorite teddy, and help them deep breathe and smell that, and that can also help calm them. The limbic system, calming the limbic system is also of great importance to help us stay focused. So in Matthew's Brain Channel, he talks about the limbic system, how the footballer Chloe Kelly uses breathing to stay focused during penalties. Have a watch, and I've also put the video where she's discussing this in the links below. This actually, Matthew's Brain Health channel, this particular episode was recorded just after the Women's Euros, so that's why this particular footballer Chloe Kelly has discussed in there. Now we want to go further and discuss something that that we've talked about quite a bit, which is the automatic negative thoughts, which are shortened as ANTs. And we are talking about the anteater, which is, we've said we base the anteater asks two questions: is that true, and is that really true? And then we also rightly divide that word using the ultimate truth, which is the Bible. So the questions that Matthew the automatic negative thoughts that Matthew discusses are, the first one is, nobody cares about my feelings. And then the automatic negative thought is the anteater that we are now questioning, using to question the ant, is that true? No. You'll find you can reassure your child that yourself as a parent, as a caring adult, God cares about their feelings. And what we're going to use, where do we find this in the ultimate truth? It says in 1 Peter 5 verse 7, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. So that reassures your child that God cares about them. Then the second automatic negative thought that Matthew discusses is when they feel afraid. What is the anteater verse that they can use? And it's found in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. And it says, for the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So another version says, for God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So we are now going to practice breathing activity. And as I said before, our breathing activity is not practicing any new age activity where it's saying empty your mind. No, we're practicing this breathing activity, doing meditation as the Bible tells us, where we're ruminating on the Word of God. So first of all, I'll talk you through it. The children, you can even watch what your children are doing and watch how Matthew has done it on his videos, where you put your hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And what we're looking for is for the hand on your belly to rise. So we're looking for belly breathing. And we're breathing slowly through the nose and into the belly, nice and deep. And then you're repeating the Bible verse while breathing. And you visualize the verse to help calm the emotion. Okay? So, maybe they're feeling afraid. They can go, as they're breathing in, they can go, for God did not give me a spirit. And as they slowly breathe out, of fear. And then they can breathe in again, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And they breathe out nice and slowly. So watch Matthew's video. He's really demonstrated it very well. So what are the key apparent takeaways from this video? So the limbic system drives emotions, memory, and connection. Okay, and we now know that it is also very active in the teenage years, which explains their heightened emotions and sensitivities to peers or criticism. So now you know. You won't be saying to a teenager, "What is wrong with you?" No, this now you know. Oh, it's the limbic system, and it's very active at this age. So you're going to try and help them calm down their limbic system, and you're not going to do it by saying calm down. No, you're going to give them activity methods of doing so. So know that this is a normal brain response. It's not defiance, it's not misbehavior. It is just a normal process that your teenager is going through, and the activities that we can use to calm down the limbic system, whether in our teenager or in our young children, is giving them a hug. Okay, giving them time with pets. It helps to calm down the limbic system. Gentle sensory activities such as the breathing activity, such as drawing, calm down the limbic system. Certain smells such as lavender help calm down the limbic system. They can practice, and you can practice together with them how to use the breathing technique and the biblical verses to help them during times of pressure, such as sports. Maybe or even when they've got something, let's say they're on a stage and they're saying, "Oh, I'm a bit afraid." You can give them this breathing activity to help them calm themselves down with the verse. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. We have been discussing the limbic system, which is the emotional center of the brain. The emotional regulation is a brain process. It is not a character flaw, and it is a simple and that simple relational, sensory, and faith-based tools can help calm the limbic system. So while we're doing this, we're helping our children build emotional intelligence and resilience. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is Faith. I'm a Christian health coach, and today we're particularly looking at brain health and dealing with the part of the brain called the limbic system, which is the emotional part center of the brain. Goodbye.